Please rise and salute the pledge. Wait, excuse me. Please rise for a pledge to our flag and ring, standing for a moment of silence to all our military personnel serving here and abroad and those suffering from the ongoing pandemic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting will have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice on December 10, 2021. A copy of the schedule is posted on the municipal bulletin board. It should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Councilman Mann. Here. Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilwoman McCullough. Vice President Ficarra. Here. And President Bauer.
Here.
Can I get a motion that the minutes be approved from May 3rd, 2022?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Moving off with second reading ordinances this evening, can I get a motion that we take up ordinance listed as letter A, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 entitled Traffic and Parking, and this is to add South Charles Street. Can I get a motion to take up this ordinance on second and third reading and the public hearing be opened?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only, and this again is to add handicap parking on South Charles Street. Here, no comment from the public. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is an ordinance approving the traffic signal installation at Rawway Avenue and Green Street in Woodbridge. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only.
Good evening, Tom Maris, Fort New Jersey. With regard to that ordinance, don't we have traffic lights there already? And who is the owner of the property? That is a county road, so why is it falling to the township?
So it's an improvement of the traffic signal, and we're taking over the traffic signal from the county as part of the improvement.
So you're taking it over, or are we also paying for it, or are they going to install it at their expense?
It's a split between the county and the township.
50-50 split, and at what cost?
I believe it's a 50-50 split. I'd have to check. There's soft costs involved there too, Mr. Maris.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on letter B? Hearing no other comments, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter C is an ordinance amending Chapter 7, the Traffic Revised Ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge, and this is with regards to all-terrain vehicles and dirt bikes. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on its second and third reading and the public hearing be opened?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter D is second reading ordinance authorizing directing that Woodbridge Township enter into a lease agreement with the Woodbridge Columbian Club. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing that's now open on letter D only.
John with Tariq Woodbridge. What is actually Columbian Club?
It's the Woodbridge Knights of Columbus building at the corner of Main Street and Route 35.
And okay, this is okay. What kind of list we're talking about? What's going to be used for?
We already have a lease to rent some rooms downstairs, and I think one room in the middle floor, and we're doubling the size of what we are renting, and we're doing it for food storage, mostly refrigerated and frozen foods for the food pantries. We frequently can get large deliveries, but there's no place to store that food because nobody has the freezer or refrigerator capacity. So we're using the Woodbridge Knights of Columbus building for that, as well as storage of supplies and possibly some overstocked food that we get, again, in bulk. Somebody wants to bring us 50 cases of spaghetti sauce and we have no place to put it. Now we'll have a place to put it.
But that's going to be used for that municipality.
I'm sorry?
It will be used for Woodbridge, for
For
municipality.
Woodbridge, we have 11 food pantries, and they'll all kind of have access to that for their
Good.
patrons.
Great, Mayor. Might keep them for going on to anyway, so good job.
Any other comments on letter D?
Again, Tom Maris, Forge, New Jersey. Compliments on the township for providing extra storage space to help our good citizens who are in need with the pantries. But again, I don't think we heard the answer to John's question, or perhaps you didn't get to that point. But how long will that lease run, and at what cost is it per month? Apparently it's additive, but as a breakout, how much are you adding to the current lease agreement if that's going to be part of it?
Neither one of those questions was asked. It's a 5-year lease with renewable terms, and the payment is going from $1,500 a month to $3,000 a month because the space is about doubling.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on letter D only? Here are no other questions. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And letter E, also a second reading ordinance amending chapter 17 with regards to the uniform construction fees. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter E only.
I gotta admit, I'm not too familiar with the thing, but the state code, I believe, when you talk to people in a Woodbridge Township, from anybody, from fire department, for building department, the state code is more relaxed, so to speaking, liberal, lenient than township. Is that going to be more like a township code, or it's going to be more like a state code? Are we going to give in, or they're going to give to us?
This has nothing to do with court. This is Uniform Construction Code fees.
Construction code,
Right, building permits.
building permits. So there's not to do, there's going to be state way or the township way.
We do it ourselves. We don't, it's controlled by the state.
So you don't need state.
I'm sorry?
You don't have to use state.
We do not have, you have to go through the state, but I don't think that means we use it. We have our own employees and our own inspectors.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment under letter E? Hearing no other comment, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Listed before you are first reading ordinances as letters F, G, H, I, and J. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on Friday, May the 20th, with notice of public hearing to be held on Tuesday, May 31st at 6 p.m.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And you have 51 resolutions listed before you. The two add-ons, which were the change order to the 2021 milling and resurfacing program and the security camera purchase for the bike share program and Rosewood Lane trains. Can I get a motion to approve 1 through 51?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. This time we'll go to the public portion of our meeting. Please state your name, part of the township, or the state you are from. You have a one-time, 5-minute time period. All video taking must be taken within a designated area in the rear of the room, and there will be no shining from your seat. Please respect each other, and please make sure all signs or posters do not block walkways or aisles. Thank you.
Tom Maris, Fords, New Jersey. If we can get an update from the township on where the radon investigation now stands. Is there anything forthcoming? Apparently WPX, Channel 11, I believe it is having a special at 6:30 tonight to show it on national TV about the problem. So I'm sure it's keen in everybody's mind, and we're all very concerned. So if you can give us an update, that'd be nice. Also, the power plant in Casby, I noticed that the group is still protesting and hopes to get through to the governor to stop that further development of the second power plant in Casby. And while I don't necessarily ascribe to all the reasons that they're doing it, the environmentalists, because I think they've kind of twisted some of the facts, I do agree with them that I don't think it benefits this community. It adds more burden onto the environment, and it does nothing monetarily except bring more money into the piggy bank here in the municipality, and I think that is not worth it. So I do stand with them in trying to get that blocked, and we hopefully we can do that. In regard to the Ross Street School, we've spoken about it several times, and I finally got through an Oprah that shows an application was made for a long-term tax abatement, and it was made by a law office on behalf of 101 Ross Street Renewal, Urban Renewal LLC. Interestingly, it was dated March 29th, 2021, so it's well over a year ago. It's an application to get as I said, long-term tax exempt application. So again, it mystifies me how the township is moving forward, and yet the school board seemed totally unaware that this is going on, according to the latest. And I do recall John McCormick's statements that he talked to the old superintendent, but it goes beyond anybody's imagination that that superintendent would not have informed the board. In fact, I have a taping of Mr. McCormick saying that he did discuss it with the former superintendent and his administration. So obviously somebody within the school must have known. But it raises the bigger question, and that is, how are they taking over from the school? And where are those teachers going to park? Are they going to park in the new 255-story parking facility that's going to be put up on James Street, North James Street? And if so, is the school going to contribute anything to the cost of that, since they're now going to be using it to allow their teachers to park where they're giving up, or seem to be giving up, their own parking space right now? Which also brings the question is, how much is Vita Mazda paying towards it? Because they're going to take 100 and some odd units there themselves when they go ahead and build the new apartments over there. And I think Mr. McCormick again has said, yes, they're going to pay their fair share. So what is their fair share of probably leaving 40 or so for the people in Woodbridge Township to use, and the rest are going to be taken up between teachers and people that are going to be living in that apartment complex? Because that apartment complex, 94 units, as I understand it, does not have its own parking facility. So it's going to use the one on North James. Those are my questions.
Anything you say, Mayor?
Well, the WPIX interview, if it's showing tonight at 6:30, that's fine. It was filmed 10 days ago. So there was nothing on that that's going to be new that we haven't discussed already. I think you answered your own question of the power plant. You said there's nothing financially benefiting the town except more money. Thank you. You answered the question. Third, the parking deck is being split 3 ways. As we explained at the last meeting, there's 255 spots. The town has around a quarter of that, and the other developers between Vito Mazza and Crown Point are splitting the other 3/4. I don't know the exact split, but I believe Vito Mazza has slightly less than Crown Point. But the entire cost will be paid by those 3 entities and not by the taxpayers of Woodbridge, as we have said. We will pay our share toward the project. We will own the deck. It will be used during the day. The whole bottom floor and a little bit into the second floor will be used by staff at Ross Street School. And they won't pay for that. It'll be covered through the town's interlocal agreement with the school board. Teachers won't have to pay. We already built 43 spots for the school board in anticipation of them losing the spots across the street, and the balance will be made up in the deck. After 3:30 or 4 o'clock, when the school is closed, these spaces will be made available to public who will shop on Main Street or dine on Main Street. So the whole project will not cost taxpayers anything, and it will be entirely borne by the people who use it. And as we always do with the school board, we pay for this, they pay for that, we balance everything out in the long run, and there'll be no cost to the school board because we're covering that as we do other things.
Thank you, Mr. Maris. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
John Vitale, Woodbridge again. And the mayor, you talk about people who's going to use this parking lot, they're going to pay for it.
Who
Now, the
said?
tenants from Vito
Who
Mazda.
said?
Well, you said the people they're going to use the parking lot, they're going to pay for. They're paying.
No,
pay
I
for
did
this.
not. I
did
said
you
the
say?
3 entities are splitting it. If those entities who are building the apartments want to charge their people, they can.
So-
If we decide to charge people to park on nights and weekends, we can. I did not say anybody's going to pay for it because that has not been determined yet, so please don't put words in my mouth.
But I mean, who's going to pay for this if you know who's going to pay for it?
I just explained it.
Well, my question would, if I'm a tenant at Vito Mazda or the other facilities, and I pay for the parking lot, and if I'm not there, is there anybody else allowed to use the spot?
That's up to them.
Thank you. Okay, I want to go back again to the Colonial High School. I guess no news is good news, so we can wait on that one. But again, there's a lot of people lately, they need to cut the trees down. There's a lot of what you call people, a lot of trees that died, a lot because of winter, everything else we do every spring. Does the Woodbridge Department of Works cut any trees on the private properties, you know, for the residents?
The only time we cut trees is if they're in the 10-foot easement, or if they're in the way of a township development, or if they're in a way, such as a sidewalk, or a street repair, or a sewer repair, or if the owners ask us to cut it down and we deem the tree to be either unsafe or too old, then we will cut it down if it's essentially in that right-of-way. We do
Right
not
away.
go on private property to cut down trees.
You can't go on a private property.
No, sir.
Now, we talk of private property, that's how many feet over the curb, 10 feet or
10
more?
is the typical easement that the township has for sidewalks, stop signs, you name it.
Okay, 10 feet, okay. Okay, very good. So there's no way that public work is allowed to go on a private property and cut the trees?
George, right?
No.
John, we typically don't go on any
Okay.
property to cut any trees.
Under any circumstances?
I think the mayor just laid out the circumstances of
Thank you,
retiring.
thank you.
If there's a right-of-way
Thank you.
or a sewer easement or something of township interest that the tree would affect, and we need to clear the tree. So there are circumstances where we would either enter a piece of property if that tree was in that area
Okay.
or affecting that area.
Okay, thank you very much. I see there's a lot of, some work done at the Main Street and Route 9. That project, how long is it going to take to complete a job?
I don't know exactly. They had a meeting today. They're supposed to have all the plans submitted to the DOT, the final version by May 31st. And then it'll take the DOT some time to review and give final approval. And then there'll be a bidding process, so it's not going to be anytime soon. It'll be a long-term project, probably stretching well into 2023.
Thank you, Mayor. One of my clients is the parishioner of a First Presbyterian Church, making me coffee would enter it. What's the plans for First Presbyterian Church of Woodbridge? What is this thing on her 18, her?
We have an agreement with them where we will pave their parking lot and they will make it available to us for overflow parking for Barron Arts Center right across the street. So it's a reciprocal agreement. They're not using it frequently at night and on weekends when the Barron Arts Center is, other than their church services Sunday morning. So if we need it, we can use it, and in exchange, we will pave it. It's a very small lot. It's not going to be terribly expensive, but that's part of our arrangement with them where we'll help each other out.
Good. I'm kind of surprised because he's one of the, he's actually treasurer, but he wasn't aware of it. It'd be same kind of a deal what you got with the Woodbridge Elks, something like that?
We did that many years ago.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andrew Ariema. I live at 43 Freddie Avenue over in Ideal Trailer Park. This is actually for the mayor and Corey. We just found out that our property manager quit, so we have no one. I talked to this gentleman today, Bill, and as far as he's concerned, they're just sending someone once a month, a couple of days, to pick up rent checks. If we have a problem, we have to call the police, the fire department, we're on our own. What recourse do we have against these people? I mean, I have a water leak next door to my house for over a year now. You all know about it. I talked to him today about it today, and he says, well, I'll look it up in the computer. He says, there's nothing in our computer system about a water leak.
Council President?
Go ahead.
So I'm going to put this respectfully and mildly as possible. The new ownership, Lakeshore Management, is not a good neighbor. They're not a good property owner. That was proven by what they tried to sneak under everybody's radar several weeks ago when they tried adding another tax increase, which was against the order, which was prohibited. And thankfully to the mayor, Speaker Coughlin, and the Rent Leveling Board, that was nixed. I understand everything this gentleman is saying. I'm on that property as fire official as well as councilman, but on a daily basis. We've all spoken to many residents, and he's right. And I actually just sent a memo to the fire department that if something happens, the township can help. And then, like case in point, there's the dumpster area. The garbage is ridiculous. So we picked it up. We'll put the lien on the property. Not to compare apples to oranges, but just like somebody doesn't cut their grass, we'll send somebody out, cut the grass.
Well, that's part of it too. I haven't been able to cut my grass in a year. It's
So-
like 6 foot tall because you walk on my ground and you sink 6 feet in mud. Because the water leak has been so bad under the ground that it's affecting 4 trailers now. And we live on concrete. If that cracks, we're out of luck. You know, what recourses do we have against these people? I hear now they have hundreds of lawsuits all over the country for stuff like this. They buy these properties, they run them through the ground, and then they collect money on them because they're tax losses.
Council President, we'll have someone go over to the property. I'll have Casey step outside with this gentleman, get his information, his phone number, and his property number. We'll have someone stop by there tomorrow and check out the leak. make
I mean,
sure that-
the council, the city,
Mr. Logan?
Mr. Logan
Mike
has
Logan.
had someone out there taking pictures for the last 3 months.
Okay, I'll sit with Mr. Logan tomorrow. I'll get your name and number. I'll sit with Mr. Logan tomorrow and see if we can resolve the issue.
And I'm sorry, they are, Mr. Logan, along with our legal representation, has them in court. I say as we speak, but
I told the gentleman, like I said, I was just there before I came here. I said, why don't you come to the city council? Oh, that's not our problem. It's not our problem. But thank you anyway.
Thank you.
We'll meet you outside.
Good evening, my name's Gary Laser, and I live over on Berry Street. This is the first time that I'm presenting myself to the township, so if I screw up, please forgive me. The issue I have is with parking on Woodbridge Avenue in front of Pino's Restaurant. I've addressed this with the mayor about 4 weeks ago. He said he was going to bring it to the police attention. I don't know what's happened with that. I'm not asking you, okay? What I'm saying is I want the council people here to realize that there's an issue on that street coming from Berry Street, trying to get out onto Rawway Avenue when there is vehicles parked in front of Pino's Restaurant. The mayor has even said that he agrees with me. That was at a, if you remember, about 4 weeks ago
I do.
at the billiards club.
I do.
Unfortunately, my council person is not here tonight. I had sent her an email a week ago, and I have not received any response. What I'd like to know is what can be done in regards to the parking in front of Pino's Restaurant. It's a simple question.
Can I just say
Yeah.
one thing? Councilwoman McCall is sick with COVID, so that's why she's not attending the meeting tonight.
Okay,
Mayor.
but is she checking emails?
I'll reach out to her. You can reach out to me personally as council president or the mayor's office, but if you don't get an answer, you're welcome to, reach out to me as council president.
Okay.
I'll look into it, but do you have any update on that part?
Yeah, I remember the situation exactly. We asked it to be looked into. I don't think the police agreed yet. So, but if you want to talk to Director Hubner outside now, he'll be happy to take you out and brief you. But we did have the police look at it, and I don't think they found any technical reasons why it needed to change. But I looked at it and I drove that just because you mentioned it. I think you're right, because the cars block the view. There's no question they block the view, and you got to pull out really far away from the stop sign to get a view, and by then you're kind of in the way of the cars coming the other way down Rahway Avenue to make a left and go into Seawarren. You're kind of getting in their way, so.
And also from Woodbridge Avenue going onto Bury Street.
Well, coming straight, you're right. Bob will give you a couple of minutes now if you have time.
Who am I speaking to?
Police Director Hubner.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Any
sir.
other comments this evening from the public?
Frank Trumpator, Strawberry Hill, Woodbridge. Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Before I get going, before I left the house today, Senator Marsha Blackburn came on TV, and this is for the mothers who are having trouble getting special formula. She mentioned that on her social page, Abbott Labs has given her an 800 number for mothers who are in dire need of special formula for special needs children. So if you want to go to, if you need it, tell people whatever you got to get the word out. I just heard it just before I came here, and I don't know who's watching this, but if you can get the word out, it'd be great. There's a lot of mothers that are panicking right now, and understandably so. Another group contacted me, and I believe that this has already been rehashed here. I didn't find out that it was rehashed until the end, but it concerns Colonia Boulevard, New Dover Road. These citizens are complaining that it's dangerous and they want a stoplight. And then I heard that this was there's already been surveys done of it, there's been reports done of it, so I kind of got into this bear trap, said I'd say something. But
It's in process, Mr. Trombador.
Okay.
We are putting a light at that corner.
all right, okay, and I'll let them know. I mean, instead of them yelling at each other on social media, I'll let them know. I came late to this party. I want to ask a question, maybe I'm out, but on this ordinance number F, the first reading, the $27 million for the sewer, this was authorized in March of 2016?
Yeah, Mayor?
Yes, there's a huge project to replace the sewer lines coming from Carteret through Woodbridge, then connecting to Perth Amboy and going into Sayreville to the Middlesex County Utilities Plant. It's monumental. It's got 6 phases. It's probably $80 or $90 million for the whole thing over a 10-year period.
Oh, so
we
this is
pay part of it. Carteret pays part of it. Perth Amboy pays a small part of it. Way back then, we passed $27 million as our share of that, and we passed another ordinance that we found out we don't need yet, so we want to cancel that ordinance. But some monies were charged to that ordinance, which we're moving over now to charge to this ordinance, but this ordinance doesn't have any money in what they call soft costs for engineering. It's got all its money in hard costs for construction, so we need to amend it to put more money from hard costs to soft costs to make us able to transfer $3 million over there. It's nothing's happening, no more money's being spent. It's just accounting.
My curiosity was, if we authorized this in 2016, why are we doing?
Because it's probably a 10-plus year project, sir.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Any other comments this evening?
Excuse me, can you go up to the microphone, please, and just, if you can, state your name and the part of the town you're from, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
My name is Lenuța Situk, and I'm the owner of 757 King George's Road in Fort. Took me 5 years to come in front of you tonight, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not a public speaker, but I'm trying to read to bring to your attention things which are quite well known in the township, especially the zoning. Next to my property in 2016, Attorney Rogov converted a mixed-use property to a full A4 commercial. At the time of the conversion, Mr. Attorney Rogov did represent the Wirva family many times in the past. So when he done that conversion of the 747 King George's Road, he represented both Woodbridge Township and his loyal customers. As a result, at this point, for me it's very hard to live in my own property. I will explain to you how it works. Between their property and my property is the parking lot. So basically they are facing my house, their parking lot. I know there are rules and regulations. However, they are not informed to this business. Between their property, their parking lot to be more exact, I'm a residential property, there is no buffer. There is no car stop, there is no nothing. It's literally 2017, I put up a 6 feet privacy fence. They always park, you had boom, boom, boom. A privacy fence is not a buffer. What are the rules? How they even start the operation without having rules? I read on the website of the township. Needs to be a buffer between a commercial and a residential property. Is there a buffer? No. I also read under your website, it's saying clear, and I also spoke with a private attorney about that. Why there is no green space? It's nothing, not even 1%. How they been converted? The reason is this. Once they've been converted, nobody check. I came N times, and I spoke with Tony Tortorello, which was a very unprofessional conversation, I got admitted. He said, I don't make rules. When wherever I book an appointment with him, I explained the situation, and his answer, and then I said, please enforce the rules, please enforce the code. His answer was, you do not make rules. Again, I did not make rules. I don't intend to make any rules. Rules are there. They need to be enforced. Business sign. So it's within the mixed use area. I'm a residential. They don't have one sign, they have two. One of them, second floor, facing my property from dusk to dawn. I have to deal with the bright magenta lights. The parking lot, top of the building, LED lights projected to my property. If I want to have a party in the middle of the night, I can do so. It looks like I literally live on a stadium. Doesn't look anything like residential at all. This property, 747, it's a corner property. It's facing the county road, King George's Road. I know that county road approves only one way from the county road, and another way is supposed to be on the side of the building.
Excuse me, ma'am, your 5 minutes is up. We did receive your email with everything you stated to the administration.
Okay.
The administration forwarded to me because you are in my ward, and Director Darden's department right now is reviewing all your complaints, and once we do our investigation,
Thank you.
I will update you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments this evening from the public?
Excuse me, ma'am, before you leave, can I just get your email and a personal phone number? Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Paul Lund, Hope Lawn. I was at an environmental group meeting over the weekend, and I understand that the power plant in Casby is being deliberated at the state level. DEP commissioner confided that it's still being decided, and perhaps, since they got the last of the paperwork required from CPV in tail end of April, it may be another 90 days. So it may be a moot point what I'm bringing up. It'll get declined, rejected, or accepted. And my question was, I understand earlier it came up, the principal reason for it seems to be revenue, because the pilot program will generate some income from that for the municipality. True?
It's not the principal reason why, no, not at all.
Okay. Secondly, what I heard statistically that there are in Middlesex County just under 300,000 households. There's a population of 825,000, but they're in about 300,000 households as of 2020 census. The existing power plant generates, they claim on their website, enough power in the megawatts that they have to 700,000 households. So we have 300,000 in the county. This existing plant generates 700,000, enough energy for 700,000. And of course, I expect if these facts are faulty that they be checked and corrected. But so my question is it for the energy then? And specifically, is it for local energy, or is it energy they generate for their own profit? And is that strictly, you know, a profit motive by this company, and then something in the form of pilot money for us?
You're mentioning households, that's just a piece of the people that use the energy. There's all kinds of
Industry.
multifamily residential, there's businesses, there's industry, there's office buildings, there's retail, there's a whole host of other people that use the power.
Right.
Power is not a municipal issue. Power is a regional issue. It's not even a county issue. It's more than that. So it's not that every town will have its own power plant, and once we have enough, we don't need any more. This is regional and statewide. And that's why it's controlled by the DEP, and because it's environmental.
Right.
So what we have in town, what we have in the county, in terms of households or businesses, is completely inconsequential. They produce the power, they put it into the grid, and the grid puts it out to where it's needed. It's not an issue that we can debate based on geography.
Right. I bring it up because a lot of neighboring towns, Edison for one, I think New Brunswick, Highland Park, they're all raising objections there, and they're being successful in bringing about resolutions and you know, just to go on record that they're against it in practice. And then my question is, why did Woodbridge, or you know, specifically Casby, have to be the recipient?
Great question. Way back in 2008, we were approached by the company that they wanted to put 2 power plants there in the long term, and the power plants don't get built until the market is perfectly situated. Right now, if they wanted to build the second power plant, they couldn't, because the interest rates are too high, the cost of materials is too high, although the energy market now is good, but the other side turned against them. So even if they get approved tomorrow, they're not going to build it anytime soon because the market's not there. But they came to us with the plan for 2 power plants, and that was a 100-acre site that was the most contaminated site in the history of Woodbridge Township. And that's what everybody forgets. That site was radioactive. It is still radioactive. And we look at all the angst and all the furor and all the concern over a high school about radiation that right now we have no evidence even exists. All the people that, first of all, the people impacted are not the ones complaining, it's the others that are coming. I mean, people in Highland Park have no business worrying about what happens in Woodbridge, nor does anybody else in any other town, and we don't tell them how to run their town, and they shouldn't tell us how to run ours. But it was radioactive and still is. So people saying they don't want to live next to a power plant, it is the cleanest power plant in the state, the one we have now, is the cleanest power plant in the state of New Jersey, perhaps one of the cleanest in the country, and if and when the second one is built, it will be the cleanest in the state and in the country. And what we did is get rid of radioactive material. So anybody who lives in Perth Amboy says they don't want to live next to a power plant, ask them if they'd rather live next to a radioactive site or a power plant. Ask people in Edison and Sayreville. Ask people in Highland Park. What would you rather live? We made an arrangement to get the 2 power plants. The money's great, don't get me wrong. The money is, it's $3.5 million a year from the existing one, and we have no expenses because it doesn't put kids in school. There's only 25 employees, and it doesn't cost us anything, and we get $3.5 million for free. We'll get the same from the second one. It's terrific. It's paying for schools and parks and roads and sewers. But the real issue is we got rid of a radioactive site, the most contaminated site in the town's history. And I'll trade that for 2 power plants any day. So when these people who are against it bring me a resident from Perth Amboy or Caseby or Edison or Sayreville or Highland Park who tells me they would rather live next to a radioactive site and we should not build the power plant, and then they can go to Colonia to a PTO meeting and tell people radioactive sites are no big deal, what are you worried about? Find me somebody who wants to live next to a radioactive site instead of a power plant or 2 power plants, and find me a politician or a public official who would want their people to do that. They don't exist. We did the right thing. We're continuing to do the right thing for the people of Woodbridge, for the people all around us, because of the fact that we're getting rid of the worst site around.
And in the interest in time, I understand. It begs the question why radioactive material was allowed to be there that long. How come it wasn't a Superfund site?
I have no idea.
And that's
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
I just know I'll make that trade any day of the week, and if these people want to talk to me about it, I talk to green clubs, I've talked to public officials in all these towns, and when they know the full story, they say, okay, good move, thank you, we're no longer interested in trying to stop you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
Excuse me, Councilman Anderson?
I just want to add also on their website, it does mention that the carbon footprint also is the equivalent of removing 1.4 million cars off the road each year. So that's, with electric cars coming out, I know you pointed out the 700,000 homes, but the sentence under that stated that 1.4 million cars would also, I don't know if you saw that as well.
I have a question about what you just said, but obviously now's not the time. I appreciate your report.
Okay.
Are there any other comments from the public? Here are no other comments from the public. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public portion is now closed.
This time we'll go to our agendas. Agendas in order. I have a few announcements. Announcement from the Department of Recreation. The Woodbridge Summerfest 2022 will be held June 4th at Merle Park. Gates open at 12 p.m. noon. Fun-filled day of great food, music, children activities, beer gardens. Featured to perform, we have looks like 6 bands: Dead Cowboys, Shore Sound, Southern Steel, Saints of the City, Starman, and Willie Nile. Also, another announcement from the Recreation Department: Highland Grove Pool and Spray Park in-person registration will be May 20th through 22nd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Registration at Highland Grove Pool and Spray Park on Highland Terrace and Fords. Also, the Fords Business Community is having their first cruise night, which will be Monday, June 6th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Sipperstein's Paints parking lot located at 372 New Brunswick Avenue in Fords. The rain date will be June 20th. And also, the past Saturday, we had our 10th annual Emergency Service Cup hockey game that was played with the fire and EMS against the Woodbridge Police Department. The fire and EMS did come out ahead in the game, but the big winners that day were the charities we played for. It's always a great competition, a great night to raise money. And the best, like I said, the people that make out the best of the charities we played for this year was the Sud Team and Make-A-Wish Foundation. I'd like to thank all our sponsors, all our people that played, police, fire, EMS, and everybody that came out and supported such a great cause. That's all I have. Council President Vaccaro.
Thank you. Oh, I got a promotion? Yeah, Council President.
Oh yeah, you want it?
All right.
Excuse me, Council Vice President Vaccaro.
So from Councilwoman McCullough, just a special announcement. The gallery on Main Street has an artist reception on the 26th of May from 7 to 9 p.m. Meet some of the artists and enjoy light refreshments. Again, on the 26th, and that's our gallery on Main Street, which is always a fun place to visit. In the world of the community center and recreation, with the weather turning nice now, the mini golf and batting cages are open in the back on Saturdays and Sundays. Looking into the summer camp registration is open and it's going quickly, so please check in with them. And also, all the craze now in recreation and sports is pickleball, and we have courts now that are put down, and there's leagues forming and all kinds of free seminars and things going on with pickleball. So stop by the community center or check out their website. Also, I'd like to mention from Director Green, as most of us know, some of the COVID is coming back. Our numbers are a little bit higher. But future clinics coming up again are May 26th from 4 to 6 p.m. That's the adult clinic. May 31st from 4 to 6 is the child's clinic. A couple of things that I wanted to announce, that the Cali score, which is the COVID level index, which measures COVID activity, is now at a level orange in our area. I'm not talking about Woodbridge, I'm talking about our region. So this is up from level yellow, which was moderate last week. So we're on a little bit of the increase. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention is recommending people 50 and older, and those 12 and older with compromised immune systems receive a second booster of the COVID-19 vaccine if at least 4 months have passed since their first one. I just want to share that information because it's no secret, and it appears that people that are suffering from it, there's less symptoms, but still it's nothing to take lightly. One other announcement I have is from the Youth Leadership Council, which is a new council established with our Youth Services Department. Brianna Ludlow is spearheading that with the group, and the youth themselves are organizing, and for my part, they've established their own section of the Mayor's Wellness Campaign, where they will be coordinating with the existing campaign that the mayor has, and we'll have representation on their committee, and they will have representation on our committee. So I'm very happy to include the youth of our town in some of the decisions that are going on. In this particular case, an area of my concern is wellness and health. Speaking of wellness and health, I'd like to thank the council for taking part in the Board of Health, because for those of you in Woodbridge, the town council serves as the Board of Health here in Woodbridge Township. Along with that, we had an opportunity for some online professional development followed by a quiz, which most of us took already, and those will as we get through today and tomorrow. It will also lead to an opportunity for us to apply through Sustainable New Jersey for a new recognition called Health Gold Star, which evaluates the health process that we have in town, which I'm happy to report are very good. We are the only folks in the state to attain this level, and now we are applying again for a third. We have done it in 2 areas, and we're applying for a third. And it speaks a lot about the commitment of our township to the people of our town and to their health and well-being. So thank you for my time, Council President. I'll remain Vice President for now.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. Number 18, Woodbridge Elks. On May 21st, they're having a fundraiser to benefit Jessica Barita, who was involved in a motor vehicle accident. She's recovering nicely, but all proceeds will go to her. Tickets are $20 advance, $25 at the door. For information, you could call Scott Schroeder at 908-514-0516. There'll be music by Blame It on Richie, and again, that's May 21st. Woodbridge Elks, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. A couple of announcements. Port Reading Fire EMS Ladies Auxiliary Memorial Day services will be held on May 30th, 9 a.m. at the Port Reading Firehouse. I want to remind the public that this week is National Police Week. I want to pass my gratitude, Director Hubner, to all the fine men and women of the police department who do a very, very difficult job, but we're very fortunate to have the department we do have, so thank you. Also, it's EMS week in New Jersey. National EMS Week is actually the whole country. I want to thank all our EMTs that, again, do a very difficult job, aren't paid the best, although I do have to say that we did give a nice raise to our EMTs, and it's very appreciated. But I've seen a lot of changes in the last 41 years being involved in EMS, and it's come a long way. So kudos to Deputy Director Niski and our EMS manager, Steve Weber, who oversee the day-to-day operations, and from what I see, it runs very, very well. So congratulations to all our EMTs in Woodbridge Township. Just want to, once again, just keep in thoughts and prayers for the people of Ukraine. God bless all our township employees, our residents, and God bless America. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I just have two announcements. The flea market, the Barron Arts Center flea market will be July 9th from 8 to 2 p.m. at the Acacia Youth Center. They are still accepting vendors if you want to sell anything at a flea market. And also they have their 42nd annual Senior Citizens Exhibition. The Senior Arts Show will be showing starting tomorrow, May 18th through May 27th. Call 732-634-0413 for more information on both the art show and the flea market. And then item number 10, the library. There are still a few seats left for Paper Mill Playhouse Children's Theater production of Punk Jr. for all ages at the main library on Saturday, May 23rd at 2 p.m. Register to attend at woodbridgelibrary.org. And also, as part of a Senior Month series of programs, the Woodbridge Main Library is hosting the program Effective Doctor Visits for Seniors on Tuesday, May 26th at 1 p.m. For walkthrough best practices for getting the most out of a doctor visit, a free cholesterol screening will be available to all program attendees. No registration is required. That is all that I have, and I just would like to congratulate all of Woodbridge Township College graduates. This is the time for graduation, so congratulations to all of the graduates and their families, and that is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Spiller.
Thank you, Council President Bauer. Item number 7, Smoothie King, located at 908 Route 1 North, will officially open its doors this Thursday, May 17th. Just to refresh, Smoothie King, Bubba Coos Burritos, and a third restaurant use are located on the once vacant Bud's Hut property. Take a look at their menu online, see all the great selections they have. Item number 4, the Woodbridge Golden State Saints continually are conducting free cheer clinics for children from kindergarten through 7th grade on Wednesdays in May. Please wear sneakers, and the clinics are from 6:30 to 8 p.m. For more information, email the Saints at eboard@goldensaints.org. Clinics are held at the Cypress Center, 881 West Avenue in Port Reading. Item number 9, the Avenel VFW Memorial Post 7164 will be conducting memorial services on Memorial Day, May 30th at 10 a.m., and the VFW is located at 60 West Park Avenue. Item number 14, Maple Tree Senior Center. I'd just like to thank the mayor, the administration, Director Green, and Senior Services for getting the ball rolling with the new signage that was installed at Maple Tree Senior Center. Also acknowledge Hank from Avenel Pharmacy, who's always willing to donate to the township and Avenel and sponsoring the signage. There's signage now up on Roe Avenue, all around the building. The awning got redid. It looks fantastic, so thank you again. The rest of my agenda is in order, Council President. Just an announcement. Happy Memorial Day, and remember those military troops who made the ultimate sacrifice serving this country. Before you start grilling those hot dogs and sipping on libations, there are many VFWs in the township that will be conducting memorial services. Please try to attend one of those. Thank you to all our emergency responders, fire, EMS, Woodbridge Police Department, CERT, and all our public works and township employees. God bless America. Thank you, Council President Bauer.
Thank you. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order this evening. I would just like to send out my condolences to the McGreevy family for the loss of Jack McGreevy. Jack served our country from 1945 to 1954. Jack was a veteran of World War II and Korean War, but his service to the veteran community, but he never stopped serving his whole life. Jack was a wonderful man who worked tirelessly for the betterment of every veteran he had ever encountered and that needed guidance or help. He was a proud Marine who truly loved his country. He had a sense of humor like no other, and you could see the pride in his eyes whenever he talked about a veteran. He just was an overall gentleman and a great friend, and this community is definitely a better place because Jack was in it. So I just want to acknowledge Jack tonight and for all he did for our community. He will definitely be missed. Also, Colonia Veterans, their VFW, their Memorial Day service will be on May 29th. It'll be at noon, followed by a barbecue. And just like Councilman Spiller said, just thank a veteran this Memorial Day in between all your parties and barbecues. Take time to thank them and remember those that lost their lives. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to say on behalf of the Woodbridge Township Recreation Department, that there are registrations going on presently for Springwood Swim Club, May 20th through the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's in-person registration, and that's at 150 McKinley Avenue in Colonia. The rest of my agenda is in order. I do want to mention the Barron Arts is having a flea market, and that is on July 9th. And 1 second, let me just pull that up. Ms. Rosen sent this to me. That is July 9th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Rain or shine, and that will be at the Acacia Youth Center. There will be food available. Right now, they are taking vendor registration. The Juneteenth event, as I've been mentioning, is going to be behind Woodbridge High School from June 18th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. We are also taking vendors right now, and if you'd like to be a vendor, please reach out to me. You can contact me on my township email, or you can reach out to me on social media on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Last week, I had the pleasure of being a part of the Replenish program that was announced through Congressman Frank Pallone. Our vote text this is the vision of Commissioner Kenneth Armwood, and this is where we're going to be creating agricultural and an aquacultural program in our vote text, where our students will not only learn the art and the industry of fishing for the aquaculture, but on the agricultural side, they received a $300,000 grant from the federal government to start their own agricultural program that will have a curriculum. Our average age of farmers in Middlesex County is 62 years of age, and so we need to replace those farmers somehow. And the great thing about this is we talk a lot about our food banks. Most of our food banks don't always have fresh produce. So our students are going to be producing fresh produce that's going to be a part of our food banks, and so with a lot of food insecurities that our families go through, the agricultural program will help supply fresh produce for those students. It was announced at the Piscataway Votech campus, but it's going to be in use at both the Piscataway and on the East Brunswick Votech campus. So it's another great reason to look out to go to a Votech. Woodbridge Broncos will be having their registration throughout May and June. You can find out about football and cheer in Woodbridge Township on Facebook, and go to Friends and Family of the Woodbridge Broncos. And also, unfortunately, we had another tragedy shooting in our area. I have family in Buffalo, and there were 10 people that were taken at a food shopping for no other reason than the color of their skin. So I just ask, while I know we're making sure that we keep our veterans in prayer and during Memorial, and our friends over in Ukraine, I'd ask that you keep that community in Buffalo in your prayers as well. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Patel.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is also in order. I have a few announcements. 5 branches senior center, which is located at 1 Brown Avenue, Iselin. They will have their social stroll on Friday, May 20th, between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Also, 5 branches senior center will have a presentation on Help EMS to Help You, and this presentation will be done by Steve Weber on Monday, May 23rd at 2 p.m. Also, JFK Memorial High School in Iselin will have their annual scholarship awards ceremonies at the JFK High School on Wednesday, May 25th, starting at 6:30 p.m. On Monday, May 30th, 2022, the Iselin VFW Post 2636 will be conducting its annual Memorial Day services at the Post Monument located on Arth Avenue in Iselin. The Memorial Day services honor all the departed servicemen and women who made the ultimate sacrifices for our country, is scheduled at 11 a.m. on Monday, May 30th, 2022. After the ceremonies, refreshment will be served at the firehouse. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilwoman McCullough is excused. I just have one announcement I forgot to say earlier. Memorial Day services for Ford's VFW Post 6090 will be Monday, May 30th at 11 a.m. at the Memorial Monument located at King George Road and Coriel Street.
Council President, just one clarification, Councilman Anderson, 62 is young, right, for the farmers?
I think we have yeah, but I don't see any coveralls on you yet. Okay.
I think he wants to join. Thank you. Mr. Mitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple items. Dropping down to 3A, just a reminder that the virtual training for all of our liquor license holders is May 26th of this month. Once I see the attendance of the 96 attendees expected to be there, I'll probably start getting ready for the liquor license renewals as early as the 31st. Get that done. Also, I'm just going to mention, I mentioned it this morning with the group of students that we met with earlier. You know, we continue to see shortages of poll workers, and we have an election coming up on June the 7th. And if anybody is interested, they should contact their local political party. Working one day, which is June the 7th. It is a long day, but it does pay $330, and that includes a 1-hour training. So it's a great payday for 1 day's worth of work for anybody who might be interested. Call the County Board of Elections or any of the local political parties. That's all I have.
Poll clerk was that, sir?
Yes.
I'll give you the number later.
Oh, my daughter did it last year. She loved it. She said she's going to do it again.
Good.
Yeah, it's a great job for a young college student. They're home. Great payday. She enjoyed it. She got to know everybody in the town.
She was actually very active. I was there.
All right.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Director Hubner.
Thank you, Council President. I just have a few traffic ordinances.
Director Doherty.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening.
Director Burke.
Thank you, Council President. All right, I have a few items for action, Council President. The first is a proposal for the 2023 million resurfacing program, road surfacing. That's at CME Associates. Resolution approving the grant application to the DOT for Omar Avenue and for the roadway improvement project, and a release of a sewer connection fee at 138 Mary Avenue in Fords.
Thank you. Mrs. Administrator, Mr. Luca.
I have two items tonight, a resolution for a tax overpayment, tax and sewer overpayment, and a parking permit refund. Thank you.
Thank you. Legal.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing.
Motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.